fact, it's a whole set of laws which has been voted today. And one of them, which is fairly important, is a modification of asylum law. Until now, refugees, migrants who were arriving in Hungary from Serbia, mostly come from Serbia, which is at the south of Hungary, could enter the country and file a request from asylum. Now, the new law says they will not be able to do that anymore. Their request will be almost automatically rejected because Hungary considers Serbia as a safe country, which is not really true. I mean, the United Nations says it's very difficult in Serbia to be a refugee and to have access to a fair procedure. So it's kind of legal trick, because if these people cannot file a request, cannot be considered as asylum seekers, then they are labeled illegal immigrants, and therefore the NGOs who try to assist them are doing illegal work. So it's thanks to this legal trick that a whole category of people, of volunteers, of NGOs, and of religious associations also can be sort of considered outlaws. Now, it's not sure this law will be implemented because it's extremely vague. It's extremely badly worded also. It makes it very difficult to implement. So it all depends on how the public prosecutor will act and who he will consider to prosecute, really.
This is all coming a week ahead of an important EU summit where they're going to try to hash out common policy when it comes to things like migrant rules. Florence Labruyère, what's the state of mind inside of Hungary's government right now?
Well, 4 years ago, in 2014, Viktor Orban said, "I have three enemies: the European Union, the free media, and the NGOs." And I think he's been very persistent and consistent in opposing and deliberately entering into conflict with these three institutions and organizations. And since there are no real sanctions against him or against his government, the EPP, the European People's Party, has warned him, saying he might be expelled from the party, but this has not been followed by anything. And there are constant warnings coming from the European Commission, from the Council of Europe, but nothing comes into force, really. So Viktor Orban, has a large avenue ahead of him if he wants. If he feels absolutely free to continue building an authoritarian regime.
And what is it, again, just to remind our viewers, what is it about George Soros that gets under his skin? Yeah,
the bill has been, I mean, the bill is labeled that way, but the bill has nothing to do with Soros, really. But he's just a very convenient scapegoat that Viktor Orban can show to his voters, who are very much right-wing. It's right-wing camp voters who are sort of, and it enables Viktor Orban to flirt with the xenophobia that is somehow latent in Hungary. George Soros is of Jewish origin, and the campaign conducted by the Orban government has anti-Semite connotations. So he's a very useful scapegoat that is shown all the time to convince Hungarians that there is a conspiracy designed by a Hungarian who is now an American, and that Viktor Orban is protecting the Hungarian nation against that conspiracy.